Good evening and welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey and the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. How are you all doing this evening? Woo woo. Hold on, I'm just trying to get one thing that I can't grab right now. Oh, what I need is right beside me. So, welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing physically? How are you doing socially? How are you doing emotionally? How are you all doing this evening? I am feeling good from my head to my shoes. Know where I'm going and I know what to do. I feel good. I said all that to say, y'all, I feel really good tonight. I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm excited about my future. I'm excited about your future. I'm excited about all the great, mighty, wonderful, amazing things that the Lord is doing for me on my behalf and for you. So you all go ahead and add it to the chat to let me know how you're feeling tonight. Add it to the comment section if you're listening later on the broadcast or the podcast. I do go back and read comments. Any of the comments that are left, I do go back and read it and respond most of the time. And so, yes, I want to know how you're doing. How y'all doing? I had a full day today, and I am here, and I'm just like, sip and say with Stephanie. Like, yes, let's do this, right? And so I'm going to try my best at least to be short and sweet tonight. I have a little bit of news to share with you on tonight, and then I will share with you three of the four Black owned products, excuse me, that I purchased in February of this year. I'm going to give you an update on those products, okay? Before we get into it, I want to give us our Black History fact. Before I give you our Black History fact, y'all, I had to show you all the EJI. You all know I love talking about the EJI calendar, the Equal Justice Initiative calendar with Brian Stevenson. I've been getting them for the last several years. You should definitely get one. As I've shared with you before, they make great gifts. And so I did give out several not this year, but last year in December around Christmas time. And I gave a few out in January that I saved for a few people. And so I wanted to show you May's picture. I was going to read it first and then show you, but I'll show it to you. So this is a picture for May. And this is a 1948 Birmingham Black Barons played in the last Negro League World Series where 17-year-old Willie Mays, front row far left, was a standout. And this picture is by the Memphis Public Library or was retrieved from the Memphis Public Library and Information Center. So this, yeah, that's Willie Mays. Yeah, so that's him right there. And so I wanted to show this with you. I have not done an extensive history on the Negro League, but I do know that their stats, from what has been reported, their stats, not stacks, but stats, STATS, were better than some of them, most of them, all of them. At least some of them were better than the stats coming from the predominantly white league. I don't know if it was called Major League Baseball at that time or if Major League Baseball went through like a name transformation like the NFL did. I'm not sure. But wanted to share that because when I saw that picture, I was like, I love seeing pictures of the Negro League and learning more history about the phenomenal lives and athleticism of these Black men. And so, yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so that's one Black history fact. And not necessarily a fact, I guess, but information. All right, you all. So today is May 16th, 2025. So on May 16th in 1956, white residents in Delray Beach, Florida, burned a cross and stockpiled weapons to maintain racial segregation of a public beach. You all knew if a black person even stuck their big toe, little toe, middle toe, any toe, finger, body part, anywhere in a white pool, that whole pool, it was considered unclean, unsanitary, dirty, and the entire pool was drained, scrubbed, and then refilled for the white folk. I just, I just that sounds crazy, don't it? It's crazy, and it's so interesting. I do not get in nobody's pool. I barely get in beach water because it is some of the nastiest water with all the bodies in it. Y'all, I just you talking about unsanitary. Just having your body in a pool with other bodies is unsanitary. You go into the beach and people got their animals and urinating and different things at the beach. I'm not. No, no, no. As a child, I loved it. As an adult, I know better. No, I'm not doing it. It's nasty. I don't care if your body has white skin, pink skin, brown skin, whatever color skin your skin have, whatever kind of skin your body is housed in. When you getting in the pool and mixing with other, that's just no, thank you. All right, I'm done with that. May 15th, we're going to get yesterday's date, May 15th. But in 1916, a mob of 15,000 burns alive African American teenager Jesse Washington in Waco, Texas. I don't know why they burned Brother Jesse. I'm going to see if I can look it up and see why Brother Jesse was burned. Have it in the calendar. There are actually two events that happened that EJI has added. And it said in 1970, armed Black student protesters at Jackson State College. I remember reading about that. I do not know the individuals' names. So he was arrested for killing Lucy Fryer, a 53-year-old white woman. It is noted that he later confessed to killing her. Now y'all know, this a fifth a four. How old was the child? 17 years old. I don't believe that no more than. Oh, okay. So as I'm looking at the picture, I have seen the picture of this lynching. Y'all, wow. I do remember seeing the picture of this particular lynching. Yeah. And once you see the picture, you might recognize it too, but I'll let you, check that out for yourself. Last thing I'm going to read as far as Black history is concerned, on May 14th, 1961, a white mob sets fire to a bus carrying Freedom Riders, an interracial group challenging segregated transportation, and attacks riders with clubs, bricks, iron pipes, and knives near Anniston, Alabama. I do remember reading about the Freedom Riders as well. Y'all, it's a lot of Black history that the people who claim they run in America is trying to erase. I don't know why. I don't know why people think you can erase history. History is already out there for all the free world to access. You're not going to erase it. Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. So okay, y'all. So I guess I'm gonna have to leave it like that, right? Okay. All right, y'all. So let's get off into the news and I'll share the products with you. Oh, it's Sip and Say with Stephanie. Watch y'all sipping on. Okay, y'all. So look, we had a Mother's Day dinner after church on Sunday, and one of my uncles who was normally on the show, he'll probably be on tonight, made some lemonade. Can y'all believe this lemonade survived from Sunday till today? But I'm gonna tell you why. I had an entire one of my big jugs that you all have seen me with on occasion. 64 ounces of water is what I drink throughout the day. And so I have that, large container. I had an empty container that I fill to the brim with lemonade. So I'm getting the last little bit of the lemonade. So I'm sipping on with my prayer warrior cup that my auntie gave me. I'm sipping on some lemonade. And because I am who I am, I had to bring some water over too in my Stephanie Humphrey Channel cup that my cousin made for me, cousin Mika. And I'm sipping on my water too. Delicioso. So that's what I'm sipping on tonight, some lemonade and some water. I was going to have some tea, but y'all, it's a little warm. And I was like, well, I'm not going to mess with any tea tonight. So first bit of news, I am excited to announce that in the state of North Carolina, Justice Allison Riggs, who won the election back in November 2025, has finally been sworn in, y'all. You all may or may not know, but her contender, uh, Jefferson Griffin, I wasn't going to say his name, I'm going to say his name so y'all know who he is. He contested about over 60,000 votes, saying that those votes were they should not have been cast because for various reasons, fraudulent. What some of them were like military votes that he felt like should be discarded. I can't remember all of the reasons why at this point, but he challenged over 60,000 voters. Actually, more than 68,000. Looking at my number now, over 68,000 voters. He noted that those votes were fraudulent, and so he challenged them in court. And it's so interesting that he challenged them. Of course, the case went to the Supreme Court of North Carolina, and the justices that sat on the bench with her like decided, on this case. And I can't remember. I don't remember, and I should have made sure I had that. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Wait. Um, so a federal judge ruled that thousands, which was over 68,000, that thousands of disputed ballots must remain in the final tally. Okay, so a federal judge ruled that the ballots would remain on the tally so that they would be, for those who did vote for Justice Riggs, those votes will be counted. And then for those who voted for Griffin, because some of them did vote for Griffin within these challenges, because she actually won by 734 votes, you all. Justice Allison Riggs won by 734 votes. So some of those 68,000 votes that were challenged, some of them did vote for Griffin. I don't know. I do know why he challenged. I'm not going to say I don't know, or at least I believe I have a thought about why he challenged these votes. But even if you win by 10 votes, you won. And I know that there are some guidelines to say if the margin is small, you'll have a runoff. Like I recognize that. But Justice Allison Riggs won by 738 votes from over 5.5 million ballots cast in November. So on May 7th, according to a report that I was reading from NBC News, not NBC News, excuse me, ABC News, Republican challenger Jefferson Griffin, he finally conceded from November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So after 6 months of foolishness, I'm going to just say it what it is. I was like, am I going to say it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. After 6 months of foolishness, Griffin finally conceded. And this is what he said. This is a quote. While I do not fully agree with the district court's analysis, I respect the court's holding. Just as I have respected every judicial tribunal that has heard this case. I will not appeal the court's decision. It's about doggone time that you conceded. You should have conceded in November when your butt lost. But what it is in 2028, 2026, I know in 2026, Justice Anita Earls, her seat is up for reelection. She's a Democrat. Um, and then I think it's in 2028, there are three Republican justice seats that are up for reelection. And they do not want the Democrats to take over the Supreme Court justice. Now, I don't know. I'm going to have to do some research. So, for all of you scholars of how Supreme Courts work and how judges work and all of that, you all let me know. But or Republican or Green Party or whatever, or the People's Party or whatever, they should be bipartisan, in my opinion. So I would have to do some research as to why the Supreme Court is not bipartisan. Now, I do recognize that on the United States Supreme Court is supposedly bipartisan, but we recognize who is who on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. But it definitely should be in the states bipartisan, but it's not. So we have what we have. And so we celebrate Justice Allison Riggs' reelection. Congratulations, Justice Allison. She will serve an additional 8-year term as an associate judge for the North Carolina Supreme Court, and we are excited about that. So this is what Justice Riggs said. And these are quotes from Justice Riggs. Voters should not have to fight tooth and nail to have their lawful votes counted. Disappointed politicians should not use courts to try and get a different election outcome. Amen. 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 And she shared, Justice Allison Riggs shared those remarks following her swearing in. And she was sworn in Tuesday of this week, so the 13th of this month. Justice Riggs, it was quoted that she said nearly $2 million spent, y'all. $2 million of taxpayers' money. Nearly $2 million of taxpayers' money. She didn't say that, but I'm saying I threw in the extra words. This is her direct quote. So let me stick with her direct quote. Nearly $2 million spent, more than 68,000 voters' lawful votes put at risk, taxpayer time and resources wasted, and immeasurable damage done to our democracy. While I am forever inspired by the commitment of North Carolinians to protect our rights, it doesn't have to be this way. Amen. Justice Riggs, not Justice Riggs, yes, Justice Riggs said this: I will serve all North Carolinians regardless of whether they voted for me. I will defend the rights of all North Carolinians regardless of their political affiliation. I will uphold the rule of law and the Constitution without fear or favor, and I will always stand up for your rights and freedoms. Yes, yes, and yes. I do want to share that Miss Viola, I'm going to call her Elder Viola Rios Figaro, she is the chairwoman of the Wayne County Democratic Party. And she shared this information. People just call for everyone at our church. And Justice Riggs was at the church visiting with some of her supporters. And so we appreciate the work that everybody did in calling our legislators, contacting them in whatever way you contacted them, protesting, marching, standing up for Justice Allison Riggs. So congratulations, Justice Riggs, for your reseating. I am happy to for that outcome for you and for North Carolina. I'm excited for Justice Anita Earls to retain her seat in 2026. I believe her 2026. Um, if I'm remembering correctly, is December 31st, 2026, if I'm not mistaken. And so she'll have to there, excuse me, sad story for you. So congratulations, Allison Riggs. I'm gonna go ahead and say in advance, in 2 years in advance, or not 2 years, because we know it'll be a year, a little over a year. Congratulations to Justice Anita Earls. I'm gonna go ahead and say congratulations in advance, because we're gonna be fighting for you to retain your seat on the Supreme Court. Okay, so this news is sad, you all. And I'm going to have to do some more research on this as far as pregnancy is concerned and how this can happen, because I don't know. But I want to give you the news and then you can go and research it for yourselves. And I'm definitely going to be researching this for myself because I had so many questions after I read this article. So this is reported from NBC News. I retrieved this information from NBC News, but this report came from WXIA TV in Atlanta. So there is a young lady named Adriana Smith. She is a 30-year-old young lady who has been declared brain dead. She is currently pregnant and she is being kept alive on a breathing machine, also called a ventilator. Because of the abortion laws in the state of Georgia, her family is unable to make a decision about her care. So she is going to, from what I understand in this article that I was reading, she is going to remain on life support until her baby comes to term and is able to be delivered. I'm assuming possibly C-section or cesarean. My question is, how can a baby be sustained in a body of a brain dead mother? The report didn't say if they were feeding the mother or, I don't know how they could do that, feeding the mother so that the baby can get fed, or maybe they're feeding them. The report didn't say that, but that was one of the questions that I had in reading this report. And so mom is heartbroken that she cannot make a decision about the care of her daughter. And so at the time, Miss Adriana Smith, she actually went to the hospital. She actually sought treatment at Northside Hospital because she was having intense headaches. The hospital released her, y'all, with medication. Her mother, Miss Adriana or Adriana Smith's mother, whose name is Miss April Newkirk, she noted that the hospital did not do a CAT scan or any type of test to look at her brain, like if something was going on in her brain area and her head. They didn't do a CT scan or anything to test any activity or abnormalities within her brain. I don't know what tests were run. That's really none of our business because, it could be a HIPAA violation. Her mom didn't say it. It was just reported that the hospital sent her home with medication. And so that's all that's all the business we need, because the rest is none of our business. Her mom did just note that they didn't do any of the a CT scan or any of those. And she actually noted that the hospital did not run any tests or scans. And then I was listening to her give a report. She specifically mentioned CT scan. And as she was talking, she mentioned another type of test that they could have and possibly should have given her based on, based on how she was feeling and the report she was given to the hospital about how she was feeling. But I can't remember what Ms. Newkirk said. So you all can look that up for yourselves. So let's see when it happened. So a day after Miss Adriana or Adriana Smith sought treatment at the Northside Hospital, a day after that, she was with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend said he woke up with her making gargling noises and gasping for air. And so she was rushed to Emory Decatur and later transferred to Emory University Hospital, where they did a CT scan, y'all, and they found multiple blood clots in her brain. Whew. Miss Newkirk said that her daughter was declared brain dead. And this is a direct quote from Miss Newkirk about her daughter. She said that her daughter, and then this is a quote, she said that her daughter has, and then this is where the quote starts, been breathing through machines for more than 90 days, end of quote. New quote from Miss Newkirk, it's torture for me. I see my daughter breathing, but she's not there. And again, that's as reported by WXIA TV in Atlanta. So at the time that Miss Smith sought care, her baby was, let me see, she was 9 weeks pregnant at that time. And so now, well, at the time of this report, which was May 15th, by the time I retrieved this report earlier today through NBC News, it is reported by Miss Newkirk that her daughter's 32 weeks. Well, when she gave the report to WXIA TV, she noted that her daughter was 32 weeks pregnant. But because of the abortion ban, they're not able to make a decision about Miss Smith's care. The mother, Miss Newkirk, didn't say if she wanted to take her child off life support, but she did state that because of the abortion ban, she's not able to make any type of decisions. And this is Stephanie. Now, so this is back to Stephanie talking. But I'm thinking because of the abortion ban, if Miss Newkirk did decide to take her daughter off life support, she would be killing a child, and that could be potential consequences there. And so the abortion ban in North Carolina, not North Carolina, excuse me. I was just talking about North Carolina, but we in Georgia now. The abortion ban in Georgia is called the Life Act, and it makes all abortions illegal after 6 weeks of pregnancy. So after 6 weeks of pregnancy, a woman cannot abort her baby legally. It would be illegal for her to abort, to abort her baby, to have an abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The exceptions include when fetal anomalies are detected. If a situation is to protect the mother's life and health, or the woman's life and health. And also, there are exceptions in the case of incest and in the case of rape, but that incest and that rape has to be documented with the police. They make it so hard for women out here. Like, get out of my uterus, get out of my vagina. Like, they make it so difficult for women to make healthcare decisions for themselves. And so that's that, y'all. I'm sorry. I gave a wrong report about about Miss Smith's weeks of pregnancy. So let me make a correction. Miss Newkirk told WXIA TV that her daughter is currently 20 weeks pregnant. So I apologize for that misinformation. Correcting myself in real time. So Miss Newkirk was saying that her daughter was 21 weeks pregnant at the time that she spoke to them. And she noted to, again, WXIA TV, that the plan is to keep Miss Smith alive until the baby boy can safely survive on his own. And that is most likely 32 weeks, okay? Because uh, 40 weeks is like full-term pregnancy for most women. I'll say for most women, but 32 weeks. 32 weeks is 8 months. So that's a full-term pregnancy as well. I think between 32 and 40 weeks. is full-term pregnancy. Let me make sure. Is the 8 months. No, 32 weeks. 8 times 4 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. Because 8 times 5 is 40. And so, y'all, my math. Fat me out. I just swoon chat sometimes after work. I'm finishing in the school, child. I'm just trying to rest. 8 times 8 weeks, and but the baby will be considered premature. I said 40 weeks. 40 is 10 months. Most pregnancies are 9 months, which is 36. Y'all can tell I ain't never been pregnant. Praise God, from whom my blessings flow. But y'all, so if she's 21 weeks and she has 11 more weeks of being hooked up to a ventilator, y'all, can y'all imagine like the hospital bills that are happening? Because you got to pay, you paying for the hospital bed, you're paying for the ventilator, you're paying for the care that they are giving her, because they still have to watch over her and monitor her. Wow, y'all. So anyway, Miss Newkirk, she said it should have been left up to the family. That's what she told. That's what she told the station, and the doctors did inform Miss Newkirk that the um, the doctors informed the family they are legally not allowed to consider any other options. So legally, they cannot consider any other options for their own child because of the law. Ms. Newkirk went on to say, I'm not saying that we would have chose to terminate her pregnancy, but what I'm saying is we should have had a choice. I agree. I agree. So there was a spokesperson for the Emory Healthcare. Y'all know they got to throw their little stuff in because they act like they got to try to defend themselves. Y'all know how it is. A spokesperson for Emory Healthcare. This is what they said concerning their their care, their obligations, or to the community, using consensus from clinical experts, medical literature, and legal guidance to support our providers as they make individualized treatment recommendations in compliance with Georgia's abortion laws and all other applicable laws. Our top priorities continue to be the safety and well-being of the patients we serve. Y'all, that's why did they have to say anything at all? Just shut your mouth. Like this right now, this has nothing I know it has something to do with you because you have the care, but it really don't have nothing to do with you. This is a mother that wants to make a decision for her child, but she's being prevented from making a decision because of the law. So how dare you? Like, you didn't even have to make a statement. You could have just kept your mouth shut. Yeah, you just could have kept your mouth shut instead of just making that blanket statement. Like, just be quiet. Like, it trips me. And I know they do it for legal reasons because they got to protect themselves legally. And that's all why companies or hospitals or other entities have spokespersons when situations like this happen, just to keep them from legal action. That's really all it is. It really is. And I don't know what Miss Newkirk and her family will do in this situation as far as seeking some type of legal um, some type of legal something so that they can make a decision for their daughter. I don't know. But I was just like, this is crazy. Like, it's crazy that you cannot make a decision for your child, that the laws are making decisions for your child's care. I think that is crazy. I really think it's crazy. All right, y'all, I'm gonna take me another sip of lemonade. What y'all sipping on tonight? I forgot to ask you. Add it to the chat or the comment section if you're listening later. All right, y'all. I thought this was interesting, so I wanted to share it with you because I feel like it affects all of us. Ooh, I'm gonna have to follow that up. It's sweet. Mm. Yeah, it's sweet. I have to follow that up. So it's good, but it's sweet. Okay, you all. So I didn't put this in my notes. I don't know why I didn't put the first state, but I do know Florida, and I think Utah is the other state. In the report, I think to have done it. And so, uh-oh, there we go. I was having some technical difficulties just for a few seconds. So, since 1945, community water fluoridation has been in existence to in an attempt to prevent cavities amongst the populations, especially for those who might not have dental insurance and might can't get to the dentist for various reasons, whether financially they're not able to go to the dentist, transportation they're not able to go because maybe there's not a dental office within a reasonable amount of distance, right? A reasonable distance from some of our community members, especially those who are in rural communities. You all know that doctors' offices, medical and healthcare, facilities could be out of reach for some in our rural communities, especially those who don't have transportation. And in some rural communities, they don't have bus services like some of the cities do. They don't have the bus services to support their citizens getting back and forth to a doctor's office or dental office or other healthcare facility. And so Utah and Florida have passed laws banning fluoride in water. As I was reading this report from NBC, I believe this one was from NBC as well, that this anti-fluoridation movement became popular when I'm trying to be nice about what I call him. The person who has the title of Health and Human Services Secretary, and that's Robert F. Kennedy Jr., unqualified, in my most humble and realist opinion, unqualified to be in this position. But anywho, it is thought that the anti fluoridation movement gained popularity with him, indicating that drinking fluoridated water has no systemic advantage. He is not a doctor. I don't know why anybody who is not a doctor or somehow in the medical field with some type of medical degree and experience is not heading up a department of health and human services. And this is why I do not report a lot about what's going on in the current administration in the divided States of America, because it's so stupid. I just don't even have the patience. I'm paying attention to what's going on, researching, reading, listening to what's going on, but I just don't want to report it because it's so stupid, so ludicrous, so outlandish that I just don't even want to mention those individual names on my show. I just want you to look up things for yourself. But this particular um, news, I definitely wanted to share because it does affect or impact all of us here in America in particular. So, there are studies that show. So let me say this. So the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Dental Association, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they all support adding fluoride to water. Drinking fluorinated water keeps teeth strong and reduces cavities. Keeps teeth strong and reduces cavities. Studies have noted that fluoridated water prevents tooth decay by 25%. So, you all, other states that are looking to ban fluoride in water include Kentucky. I'm just shaking my head because my state is up here. Kentucky, Massachusetts, Nebraska, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. It was noted that Hawaii has never mandated water fluoridation and that they have the highest prevalence of tooth decay in the United States among its children. So in Hawaii, only about 11% of its residents about 11% of its residents are served by fluorinated community water systems. And that's according to a 2015 study of third graders throughout the state by the state health department. It is noted that fluoride helps both adult teeth and youth teeth. Helps our teeth prevent cavities. Come on in here, somebody. Fluoride also repairs and prevents damage to teeth caused by bacteria in the mouth. Bacteria in the mouth produces acid when a person eats or drinks. That's why we need to stop drinking all that soda, because there's already enough acid happening and you adding all of that acid on top of the acid you already have. So, bacteria in the mouth produces acid when a person eats or drinks. The acid dissolves minerals in a tooth surface, making the tooth weaker and open to cavities. I retrieved this information from the CDC, which is the Centers for Disease Control. Fluoride replaces the minerals lost from a tooth due to acid breakdown. Some fluoride can replace minerals to the tooth surface, making the outer enamel layer harder to dissolve, thus protecting the teeth. Come on, y'all. Fluoride also may reduce the amount of acid that cavity-causing bacteria produce, as well as making it harder for these bacteria to stick to the teeth. Do y'all remember when y'all were in grade school? For those of you who are of a certain age, I remember as a child that I think it was a public health department. I'm assuming it was. As a child, I didn't know. I just knew some nurses had come, and they gave us this fluoride drink. You all, it was green. They gave a little cup, and it was green. They tell her, put it in your mouth, swish it around. We had to swish it around for like a minute, maybe, or 30 seconds. I don't even know how long it was, y'all, but that green, it was green in the cup. We switch it around in our mouth, and then we spit it out. They called it a fluoride rinse. And that fluoride, again, was helped to protect our teeth. I remember that so clearly because that stuff was so nasty. But it helped protect our teeth, according to studies, y'all. Whew. The CDC website went on to say that protecting teeth requires consistent low levels of fluoride in the mouth. Fluoride can also be incorporated into developing dental enamel before a tooth erupts into the mouth, enhancing the tooth's resistance to acid breakdown and preventing cavities later on in life. Oh, you all. We need some, and I recognize that a lot of people use fluoride teeth, not fluoride teeth. Woo! A lot of people use fluoride toothpaste to brush their teeth and a fluoride rinse. I do not use a fluoride rinse, but I'm gonna look into it because I was reading about the fluoride rinse, y'all, which we're gonna get to in a second. And then I think the tax. So anyway, we're gonna get to it in a second. So fluoride dental products are effective in preventing cavities in people of all ages. Okay. And those fluoride dental products are regulated as drugs by the US FDA, which is the US Food and Drug Administration, and they are safe and effective when used as directed. So, of course, the fluoride toothpaste, you all, is the most commonly used. Our doctors, our dentists, maybe your dentist, our dentist, my dentist, I'll say, because I don't know what yours told y'all. Fluoride toothpaste. Okay, fluoride toothpaste. Fluoride mouth rinse. Let me go back up. So let me share this with you all. When we use fluoride toothpaste, the fluoride sticks to the tooth surface. Fluoride toothpaste also increases the amount of fluoride in saliva, which helps rebuild the outer enamel layer. So, of course, you always should brush twice a day with fluoride toothpaste. If you have a child age 3 to 6, please do not use any more than a size pea size amount of toothpaste. Before age 3, parents, grandparents, caregivers, legal guardians, smear no more toothpaste than the size of a grain of rice on your child's toothbrush. So before 3, by the size of a grain of toothpaste, the size of a grain of rice. That's what you use on the toothbrush to brush your children's teeth. And then if your child is younger than 2, you need to consult your doctor, okay, or a dentist before you use any type of fluoride toothpaste or fluoride products. All right, so we got our fluoride toothpaste. We have our fluoride mouth rinse, which is a concentrated fluoride solution that may be used daily or either weekly. The fluoride from the mouth rinse, again, it sticks to the tooth surface and your saliva to help prevent cavities. So that's why I didn't know about mouth rinses, because they are prescribed by a doctor or a dentist for patients at high risk of cavities, or it's also available over the counter. I think I have seen mouth rinses, but it's never been recommended by my doctor or dentist to use them, so I've never used one. I never heard of a fluoride garnish, but a high concentration fluoride garnish is applied by dental or other healthcare professionals directly onto the teeth. Okay. And I don't know. Okay, it does tell me what it does. I just need to. I need to. So fluoride varnish keeps a small amount of fluoride in close contact with the teeth for many hours, but it does not permanently stick to the tooth. It must be reapplied in regular intervals to remain effective. Fluoride gel and foam is believed to reduce the risk for cavities. And it also provides, let me try that again. So let me back up. Let me correct myself in real time. If a dentist believes are at high risk for cavities, they may want to provide a higher strength dose of fluoride to help rebuild your enamel. Okay, you may not need this type of fluoride if you drink fluorinated water and brush daily with fluoride toothpaste. But if your doctor recommends a fluoride gel or foam, it is normally applied in a dental office for 1 to 4 minutes. It may also be prescribed as a fluoride gel for use at home. Okay, if that is if your doctor, your dentist gives you that prescription, make sure that you follow the directions. Fluoride, this is what I never heard of before. Fluoride supplements. I never heard of fluoride supplements before, but it says that fluoride, again on the CDC website, fluoride supplements can be prescribed by a dentist or for children at high risk of cavities by a pediatrician. The supplements are normally in the form of a tablet that is chewed or a lozenge that is sucked on for 1 to 2 minutes before being swallowed. And this actually helps maximize the topical effect of fluoride. All right, y'all. Um, so, fluoride is absolutely necessary to help keep our teeth as free from cavities as absolutely possible. I do want to give you a little bit of information. I may have should have done this before I talked about the fluoride, but it's okay. I do want to share just a little bit more information about community water fluoridation. I've already mentioned to you that this started in 1945, and the CDC considers this to be one of the 10 great public health interventions of the 20th century. Okay, so having community having a community water, having fluoride in community water, it is noted to be a practical, cost-effective, and equitable way for communities to improve their residents' oral health, regardless of your age, regardless of education, and regardless of income. Almost all water contains some naturally occurring fluoride, but usually at levels too low to prevent cavities. So the recommendation for fluoride concentration in drinking water is zero point 0.7 milligrams of fluoride per 2 liters of water. I'm sorry, per liter of water. That little two threw me off. But zero point 0.7 milligrams of fluoride per liter of water. Okay. So that is, if you break that down, that's about 3 drops of water in a 55-gallon barrel. Or this is about equal to 3 drops of water in a 55-gallon barrel. It is noted that fluoridated water gives our teeth or bathes our teeth, is noted here on the CDC website, with a low level of fluoride throughout the day. This helps strengthen a tooth surface, making it more resistant to decay. It is also noted that foods and beverages are often processed in communities that have fluoridated water. This extends the benefits of water fluoridation to people who live outside the community. And then there is a secondary benefit called a halo or a diffusion effect. And it said that studies continue to indicate that fluoridated water prevents cavities and it saves money for the healthcare system as well as for families. Mm. So it is also noted that drinking fluoridated water keeps our teeth strong and helps reduce cavities by about 25% in children and adults. I think I mentioned that earlier, but to me, it's important for us to mention that again. All right, y'all. So if we don't have fluoridated water, we need to make sure that we are definitely continuing to brush our teeth with fluoride, fluoridated or toothpaste with fluoride, and that we make sure that we, or not necessarily make sure, but look into other ways to make sure that fluoride is a part of your dental health. You know, if these states like Utah and Florida no longer mandate fluoride in the water. So if you're in those states, you may want to look for additional ways to make sure that you get enough fluoride to help prevent decay and cavities in your teeth. And then for those states that I mentioned already who are looking into banning fluoride in the water system, we, because I'm one of the, and I live in one of those states, need to think about ways that we can keep the fluoride running strong and solid for our teeth. Thought that was important for us to mention. Wow, y'all. Last thing that I want to mention before I share the products with you is that the primaries are coming up in 2026. And there are several seats that are up for reelection in Congress. So these are called Class 2 senators. So a Class 2 term run from the beginning, which started, okay, so they got all these other words. So I'm going to just take out some of the words and just give you the meat. So Class 2 terms for senators began on January 3rd, 2021, and they end on January 3rd, 2027. So the primaries in 2026, we will be voting on some new senatorial seats in the primaries next year. So I'm just going to give you the Democrat seats that are up and the Republican seats. And I really want to focus on the states, really. I don't know if any of these individuals have already filed their paperwork to for reelection so they can run again. I shouldn't say paperwork for reelection, but paperwork to run again. I don't know if they've done that or not. I haven't done that research. I haven't gotten that far, but I definitely will because I'm curious to know what's going to happen with Congress. Because I'm hoping we can flip some of these seats from Republican to Democrat, because I just think we'll have a better chance of maintaining the programming that we currently have, like Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. And those are the things that are at the forefront of my mind, but those programs and more, making sure we maintain our funding for our Title I programs and EC programs for education. Currently, those programs will remain, but we just never know what's going to happen with this current administration, because it's just like the wind. We don't know where the wind is coming from, but we don't know where it's going, but we just feel the effects of it. We don't know what current administration is going to do. They're just doing what they're doing. So let me run off these names and places for you. So the Democratic seats that are open up for reelection are Mr. Cory Booker's, New Jersey, Christopher Coons, Delaware, Richard J. Durbin, Illinois, John W. Hickenlooper from Colorado, Ben Ray Lajon. I know I'm saying that wrong. I'm looking at the accent there, but New Mexico, Edward J. Markey, Massachusetts, Jeff Merkley, Oregon, John Ossoff in Georgia, and he has already started his reelection campaign. I'm like, yes, go ahead now. Gary C. Peters, Michigan, Jack Reed, Rhode Island, Jean Shaheen in New Hampshire, Tina Smith in Minnesota, and Mark R. Warren in Virginia. The Republican seats that are up for reelection are Shirley Capito in West Virginia, Bill Cassidy in Louisiana, Susan Collins in Maine, John Cornyn in Texas, Tom Cotton in Arizona, Steve Daines in Montana, Joni Ernst, excuse me if I didn't say your name correctly, in Iowa, Lindsey Graham in South Carolina, Bill Haggerty in Tennessee, Cindy Hyde Smith in Mississippi, Cynthia M. Loomis in Wyoming, Roger Marshall in Kansas, Mitch McConnell in Kentucky, Mark Wayne Mullen in Oklahoma, Pete Ricketts in I'm gonna have to come back to that. I'm gonna have to look that one up. I think I know what it is, but I want to be sure. James E. Rich in Idaho, Mike Rounds in South Dakota, Dan Sullivan in Arkansas, Tom Tillis in North Carolina, Tommy Tuberville in Alabama. I want Tom Tillis out. I want to say this is new. Let me just make sure. Let's make sure I got the other ones right. I forgot, but I know the rest of them. But for some reason, I didn't know Nebraska's. I don't know. Um, so yeah, y'all. Child, let's get some of them up out of there. There's a couple up here that I want out. Lindsey Graham, Corbin, Collins, McConnell, Tillis, Tuberville. I mean, I keep saying Tuberville. It's really Tupperville. It could be Tuberville. Tuberville or Tupperville. Please forgive me if I am pronouncing your name incorrectly. Anybody else? Smith. Okay, so yes. So just so you all can keep that in mind, do your research because you all know consequences. Elections have consequences, and y'all can see what's happening in America. Because Lord have mercy, help us, Lord, help us. All right, y'all. Let me get into my Black-owned products. That's enough news. I told you I was gonna get y'all early, and I really thought I would, but anywho, so I have 3 of the 4 products. See you all the all natural hair conditioner that I got that's in the freezer. I have not used it, you all. I get it's there. But then when I remember it, I was like, how am I going to break this down? Because I don't need the whole container. I normally don't wash my hair, but like I do watch it a couple of times a week, sometimes once a week, depending on what product. Like if I just have oil in my hair, I'll usually do it once a week. If I put gel in my hair a couple of days, I try to wash more often. And so maybe I'll use gel next week so I can use my conditioner and go ahead and unthaw the whole, because y'all know the container is it's a nice size, but I don't have much hair, so I don't need the whole size. And you're only supposed to thaw out what you need. And so maybe I'll thaw out the whole container next week and just use some gel next week and just, so I can wash my hair more often. But so I don't know how that is yet. I can't say. All right, y'all, my sister tea. This tea almost gone. That's all the tea that's left right here at the bottom. When I say this tea is delicious, this is the honey bush tea. It has honey bush, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, ginger. I drink this tea by itself. I rarely in the past have drank tea when I say by itself, I mean all I'm doing is steeping tea. I'm not adding any honey or anything. I'm just steeping tea. This tea is it's so good, y'all. Now, one time I did add honey because I wanted to see how it was going to be. And y'all, I forgot I put the honey in because I've been drinking it without honey for so long. So I actually put the honey in and then put my flower tea container. I meant to bring it over here, but I didn't. I had gotten that ready. I already got the tea leaves in because these are tea leaves. I already got the tea leaves in. I already have my little flower tea steeper holding, and I was just boiling the water. And so when I poured the hot water in, I forgot to stir the honey around. I forgot the honey was in there till I got to drinking it, and I was like, oh, I don't taste any honey. And then when I got to the bottom, I was like, oh, there's all the honey. So I don't even know. So I'll have to try it again with honey, but I don't need it, y'all. This tea is delicious right by itself. And y'all, I'm at the end, so I haven't drank anymore. I'm trying to hold out. I got like maybe 3 more cups of tea, so I need to order some before I run out. Y'all, I love this tea. I've never had a chi tea before, but I was like, I needed to get some. It's delicious. I haven't opened the Lux lemonade because I'm so hooked on this doggone chi. So when I get the Lux lemonade, I'll give you all an update about this, but I haven't. So this is actually a black tea, and this chi is actually an herbal tea, no caffeine, but my black tea does have a little bit of caffeine in it. So I'll probably drink this at home on the weekends. So I don't have to worry about driving or anything. Not that caffeine affects me that way, but I don't know. I just would rather drink it while I'm going to be at home. Get y'all some sister tea. especially this chi. Now, y'all may or may not like the chi, but y'all, this chi, let me hold it up closer. This chi is absolutely delicious. So get you some, get you some. I said get you some. So you all know that I was using I am using rather the Coco Elan deodorant. So this is the lavender and sage. I actually keep this deodorant in my travel bag. So this goes with me when I travel. So it stays in my travel bag. I actually got 3 deodorants because I knew I love to keep a deodorant in my travel bag. So when I'm ready to travel, my bag is already full with stuff. I just take it and go. So the bourbon and oak is gone. But I'm holding on to this container. But it's gone. This is what I used first. It is gone. I am currently using the Naked. I got the Naked. And y'all will be like, why is the lady using bourbon and oak? But y'all, it just smells good. And so I got it and I used that first. Absolutely loved it. This is a Naked, so this doesn't have any fragrances in it. So this is what I'm currently using. I need to go ahead and make an order because I'm gonna be finished with this pretty soon. I have not, since I've been using this deodorant, y'all, I do not have any itching. The deodorant that I was using before, itching, but I do not have itching when I use this deodorant. It has all natural ingredients like the Naked deodorant the Naked has coconut oil, beeswax, tapioca. I knew I could say that right. Tapioca starch, magnesium hydroxide plus shea butter plus zinc, ricinoleates, the cetyl alcohol, and it does have some sodium bicarbonate in it. It is aluminum free, fragrance free. This is aluminum free, but of course it has my fragrance, and of course this is aluminum free with my fragrance in it. Y'all, get you some. Get you some Coco Elan deodorant. I will not go back to traditional deodorant. This is Black owned and woman owned, and I absolutely love it. Yes, I do. So yes, y'all, I love my Coco Elan. It is absolutely amazing. All right, y'all. Last product, y'all know I ordered from Vi. So the lotion that I'm gonna have to open up a new one because the lotion that I'm using the container that I'm using is actually in my car. I've given several of these containers away. Y'all knew I had. We have the Lady Michelle Obama, Lady Harriet Tubman, Lady Lorraine Hansberry, another Harriet Tubman because I got like 4 of these, y'all, and then Lady Regina King. And so I am going to open, since I have 2 Harriet Tubmans, I'm going to open up a Harriet Tubman for you. And all of these are going to be mine because I have 4 bags of these, y'all. And they each came with, I think, 5 in each container. And I have given all of them away except for these that I have left and my one that's in the car. I think I have one in another bag somewhere, though. So I think I have 2 open that I've been using. Y'all, Vi. And so these are moisturizers. Let me make sure I say it correctly in the way that she wants me to say it. They moisturizers. And so it has shea butter, mango butter, apricot kernel oil, olive oil, argan oil, vitamin E, macadamia nut oil, sweet almond oil, fragrance. And it has fragrance in it. I already showed y'all what it looks like. Y'all, it's so smooth. This when I say so smooth, has a very light fragrance. It is so smooth. Like, look at that, y'all. Y'all might can't see it because I'm a little fuzzy. So smooth, y'all. I love it. I'm not gonna order. I want to order some more just so I can have it, y'all. But I'm not gonna order any because I got all these tubes left, and I do not plan to give them up. I don't know if she has a men's line or not a men's line. I'm sorry. because anybody can use these. Male, females, you can use these. But I don't know if she has some with tens with men on them. Because if she does, I'll be ordering some soon. Because Father Day is coming up, so I'll be ordering some for the men in my family. But I love all of my products. My LV actually came in this bag. I am unique, beautiful, strong, creative, fearless, ambitious, powerful, brilliant, everything. So it came in this bag. I have given 2 bags away, but I kept 2 for myself. This one and another one. I'm wondering, does my other bag in there have any more Elvis in them? Because if it does, I will give those away. I'll give a few more away. Get your Elvi. Yes, it is absolutely amazing. Nice light fragrance, nice smooth, not no itching or anything. Since I got older, my skin can be a little sensitive to new things. Everything has been wonderful. Get you some Sister T, get you some Coco Elan, y'all. Every product has been absolutely amazing that I've tried, and I'll give y'all an update about All Natural. Get you some, okay, y'all. Get you some. All right, y'all. That is all that I have for us. I do have one wonderful, beautiful announcement. Y'all, I am finished with my action research initiative for my degree program with Breathe for Change. I turned in we had to do a 20 to 40 page paper. I think I had 36 pages. And that's a paper, that's my appendixes, my references, all of that came up to 36 pages. I was so surprised that I had that many pages. Let me take a sip. Y'all, I'm done. I have a few more assignments to complete, a presentation to make based on my paper and finding, which I had already started anyway. So I just need to finish that up, y'all, and I'll be finished with the program next month. I'll keep you all posted about my graduation date, but y'all, I'll be done next month, Lord willing. For everybody who prayed for me, for everybody who supported me, I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Even if you didn't pray for me, and even if you didn't support me, it's okay. God bless you. You are still an amazing individual. If you want to know more about the nonprofit that was birthed through this degree program, you can check me out at Be Well Part of It if you are so willing to do so. The surveys currently are virtual to be a part. And I want y'all to know now, if y'all are going to be a part, I don't deal with any foolishness. So you can come acting foolish if you want to, and I will get you out of my room and you will be banned. Let me just tell you, because I don't play when it comes to people's safety and people's security and people's wellness. So you can come acting a fool if you want to. You will no longer be a part of the Be Well Connections mindfulness classes. Let me just tell you. And so you are welcome to be a part. Welcome to check out the website. Welcome to complete this survey and join us for all of our future wellness programming. Okay. All right, y'all. I am done. I did get us out a few minutes early, not many minutes early, but a few minutes early. I hope you all have a wonderful night, a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of the week. I pray God's blessings upon you. I pray that you stay safe. I pray that you be alert. I pray that you are aware of what's happening in your community, in your state, and in our federal government. I pray that you will be kind to yourself. I pray that you will be kind to others. I pray that you will give yourself grace and that you give others grace, and that you will be a kind, patient, wonderful, amazing human being that reaches for love first and not hate. All right, y'all. Lord willing, I will see you next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. You all be blessed.